Good morning, good morning. I'm your host, Ty Lane,
Co-host Carl Williams.
in Apartheid, Michigan. Apartheid, Michigan all day. And we headed into the new year. How about that?
Yeah,
Made it another
right
year.
around the corner.
Well, we're blessed to make it a new year. Everybody didn't make it. We just said we haven't crossed the finish line yet, but we're getting close. We're getting close.
Oh, we gonna make it.
Oh, yeah, we can make it. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, you going to make it. We're here. But I want to give my condolences out to the Gaston family, my cousins, Michael and Tony. Their father made his transition last Tuesday. The funeral is going to be at Chapel Hill, and that's on Joy Road at Grand River. It's going to be 10:30 family hour. The funeral starts at 11. That's going to be this Thursday, the 21st. That's 21st, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is.
21st, Thursday the 21st. Chapel Hill, Isaiah Gaston. I believe, yeah, Ike, he died.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he was sick.
Sorry to hear that.
Well, anybody,
didn't
but we
think
all
that-
have to go that way.
Yeah, we were talking about him the other day.
Right, right. And that's the police officer, cousin of mine, that we talked and, as they say, kicked it around all the time. He was definitely for education. Definitely for education. He'd get on me about it. Hey, man, when you go back to school? They got some money down there. You know, if you haven't been in a while, they got some free money down there for you can get. All that kind of stuff. And that's what we have to do. We have to
Yeah.
cajole, harass, if you want to call it harassment, our children to go to school. Not just elementary, junior high, but all the way through college, through the trade schools. Trade schools seem
That's
like
right.
a lot more emphasis is being placed on them now. And we have to fight for our children and grandchildren and the future generations. I know a lot of you say, well, I did my part. I guess you did in your own way. You did your part, but it's hard to figure that out, Carl, when we have all these generals that never won a battle. And they say they've been in a fight.
No scars, huh?
We say no
Not a scratch.
scars.
Not nothing.
Nothing. Oh, man. This is something else. It is something else. We're going to go to 10:30.
Yep.
Call all your friends, let you know we're going to be on the road today because the holiday is coming up. I don't know how they're going to play that one. But we're definitely, I'm trying to. There was another lawsuit. Is this the one here?
That's one, and I got another one.
Okay, that's the one that they won the money?
No, the one you got won money. And this one here too. This one is class action lawsuit. Dearborn homeowners may due to refund from the city of Dearborn on an average of 2,300 plus. Your water sewage rates should dramatically decrease. Senior citizens may be entitled to additional relief if the court approves it. Now, reading why I brought this up, no, let me read up here at the top. Why has Dearborn water sewage bill gone up 200%?
200%.
200%.
And that wasn't under the city either.
No, over the past 9 years. So all this lies that they've been telling that it was Detroit's fault. They telling you who the fault was.
Okay.
200%.
Well, we know they was lying. We know they've been lying all the time. And since they lying, people lying so much they ought to be flying. They tell so many lies. It's amazing,
Show the
isn't
truth
it?
about that.
It's amazing.
$2,300 a piece. They guaranteed that plus.
$2,300. That was
Right.
that's the
Each
income tax
individual.
money. That's the income tax.
Yeah.
That Trump say he gonna give back. You can get it back right through local city government on these drainage fees that these preachers won't stand up and say a word about. I really don't understand that. Why? They won't open their mouth. Want you to beg. Go back and beg Pharaoh. Go back and beg Caesar.
Oh, yeah.
You know, give unto Caesar what's Caesar. That's how it go, isn't it? Well, that water in Caesar's.
They ain't got no.
They don't have any control over that rainwater. If that's the case, tell them to go out there and put the fire out in California since they have control over that water. Huh?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. These something.
And we got all kind of information out here to support them.
They want to put the churches out of business. The preachers won't open their mouth. Say they ain't fighting. Got so scared they put a woman in the head of the Council of Baptist Preachers. Put her in.
Let her take I gotta find out what her name is, because if I write to her, she'll say something. Because them scared preachers, they wouldn't say anything.
Say the men.
The men? Oh no, they hiding behind the skirt.
Goodness.
So since they hiding behind the skirt, I'm gonna let the skirt do the talking.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know, that's something else. And they get up there on Sundays, man. I don't know how. Some preacher every Sunday is going to the city is going to say, well, we got to be like Paul.
What Paul they talking about?
The Paul that said he fought the good fight. They know. The preachers know.
Well, that can't be the same Paul.
Say they.
And that's why I asked you, what Paul they talking about?
Paul said he fought the good fight. And he stayed his course. He finished the course. He finished the course. But most important, he kept the faith. And they don't have any faith. At the least you can say, oh, ye of little faith.
Very, very little faith.
Say if he had the faith of a mustard seed, can move a mountain. Something wrong with these preachers here. I think they fake.
What Bible they read, man? They got a different Bible or something?
They got a different Bible everybody else have out here. You got the people getting money for the drainage feed. What was that? You know, I haven't picked this up since we had that little meeting to get ready for this, but you know why. But it was $200 million they said they won?
Yeah.
$200 million. And what's up with that? In back fees, the back charges for against the city of Detroit, water department.
Now that one was the city of Detroit. I want y'all to hear him. He said the city of Detroit.
Okay, it's got a Michigan Warehousing Group LLC versus city of Detroit. Case number 15 dash 010 165 CB. The case number 15 dash 010 165 CB. Plaintiff Second Amendment class action complaint. Defendant City of Detroit answers an affirmative defense to plaintiff's Second Amendment action complaint. Class action settlement agreement. Stipulated order regarding preliminary approval of class action notice and scheduling class notice of settlement class action claim form. I haven't read through it, but we're happy for you next time, next week.
But you know, for all these people out here who have preachers and all those preachers who may be looking, you got some evidence here. You got all the support that you need. Now, we've decided 2 cases. You ain't even got to do no research. So what's the problem?
I don't understand them.
And if there's anybody here that got or know a preacher or got a preacher, you need to tell them about it.
And this suit was filed state of Michigan in the circuit court for the county of Wayne. Wayne County Circuit Court. Let me see.
Yeah.
Honorable Judge A. Murphy. They went to Murphy's courtroom. Yeah, Judge Murphy. John Murphy. I don't know. Is that one of the reasons why they decided to bounce the city's lawyer out? Butch Hollowell.
Butch Hollowell.
Oh, they got Canfield Miller. Canfield was for the city. That defendant, yeah, they defended. They just took, and they got. Let me see. Have you heard of any of these people? Gregory D. Haney,
No.
Jamie Warrow, Edward Kickham Jr., and they all out of Royal Oak. That's what the firm is.
No, the name's not familiar.
Well,
That's why something being done.
would you say there's something being done because there's not a bunch of brothers out there trying? Hey, I don't understand them brothers, man. Y'all got to get out there and make some money. Everybody making money on the
I
city of
understand
Detroit.
that.
That was always the easiest lawsuit in the world. Sue the city of Detroit to get you some money,
Yeah.
get paid, and they done went out. They done got played somehow. Did you have a real degree? It's almost like Kwame Kilpatrick. Every time you look up, former Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick, I guess we can say he's a nice guy, but he sure don't know anything about the law.
Oh no.
He got a law degree and don't know anything about the law, but he might have got appointed to a federal court judge. Look at the guy they appointed. they wanted to point to the judge on the Trump bench. The white guy sitting up there, the lawyer say, well, have you ever filed a lawsuit? Nope.
No. I've seen that.
You saw that?
Yeah, I saw that. He didn't say yes to nothing.
Nothing. He didn't know how to do anything.
Not nothing. I said, well, wait a minute. I said, I don't believe this. And I wouldn't have never got on TV.
Well, no.
I would have been making all kind of. I
he-
can't say yes to not one single question. Not one.
But there are a lot of lawyers that never practiced in federal court, but he didn't practice in any court. He didn't never file a law. And there are a lot of lawyers with law degrees that never practice in court. It just sounds good. I'm a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an attorney.
What you call that? The height of incompetency
Well,
in the Trump administration.
well, they got it. You know, they're making jokes about it on the television, saying, who you going to call? Ghostbuster. And that was the guy that I think that was the senator. Did they call him the Ghostbuster? For busting him out publicly on television, for ratting him out. But a lot of those judges that's on the federal bench didn't have any type of what you call it,
Legal experience.
that experience in filing lawsuits, because remember when we looked up the federal judge's qualifications? No, his
Oh.
Senate testimony.
Oh, there
We
you
didn't go for the qualifications. Same thing, this man was at the Senate testimony, and that was Duggan, Patrick Duggan, Mike Duggan's father, just retired. Yeah, we looked up his Senate testimony. See, a lot of you don't know that. When you go before the Senate to be a judge, they question you, and they have a record of what you said.
Hey.
And we looked it up, and he was just a
magistrate or something like that.
no, he was a circuit court, I think, judge. He was a circuit court judge, and he never practiced. He never filed anything with the appeals court or any of that with the Michigan Supreme Court or the appeals court. And he did know something about the law, but that's it. He just knew. Wait a minute, he did, but they asked him that question. I'm
Yeah,
trying
they
to,
asked him. He did.
and I don't think he knew.
No.
Yeah, that's what it was. Because he asked him, well, what do you do? Just general stuff, huh? Well, we don't have it in front of us. That's been years ago since
Yeah, some years. But
looked that
some
stuff
things
up.
just don't go away.
Yeah, that doesn't go away because we were like, ooh, wow. I knew he didn't know anything about the state appeals or any of that thing. So I think he just said he did general law.
Yeah, I think he is a general practitioner.
General
sometime.
practitioner. But he might have been a magistrate. He was on one of those courts, though,
I'm
local
thinking
court.
that I'm thinking that he was.
So that's nothing new, in other words. What you witnessed over the television about that particular guy is nothing new. People are very, very limited as lawyers and in their experience in going to court. And that's what happens when that judge says on that what was that, on the school board law school suit, that you're in the wrong court.
Yeah.
And you've been practicing law long enough to know that. Hey, he's letting the people know. He's letting his
That's
clients
right.
know who he's dealing with. Look
What y'all got this?
what you
food
got
in
this
here?
knucklehead in here for? He said it nice. He was real
Yeah,
nice
real
about
nice
it.
about it.
Because some of them get dressed down. That's why they don't want to go to federal court or appeals court.
Yeah,
Because they know they don't know what they're doing, and the judge will get on them.
No, yeah, that's one thing we found out, that they scared to death to go to federal court. Most of these lawyers, they'll deal with state court, and they ain't doing so hot there. But they definitely don't want to. I don't know what it is, because we didn't been to both state, federal.
Well,
Any
they don't
court
want
you want.
they
There
don't
ain't
wanna-
no court left. We ain't tried.
Oh, we haven't been to that surveillance court.
Oh no, no, no,
That
no, no.
secret
Oh
surveillance
no, no,
court.
no, 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 no.
They won't let you in there.
I don't want to go in that one.
But you know, before I
pass
go
on
to
that
the
one.
phones, Donald Trump, President Trump, rather, when they said, what is he doing? He's trying to stop the Mueller investigation. They asking him about that. But why don't he question the subpoenas where he got this information from? The subpoena Manafort. But that's not, I mean, you know, Manafort's lawyer ain't about nothing. He ain't open his mouth. But one of the things, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if they slipped, but it was over the holidays. You know, Thanksgiving and Christmas run real close together.
Yeah.
And they were talking about that surveillance law that they brought out during 9/11 is coming up for they have to reenact the law again. It's a sunset, and whether they want to keep the law or not. Now, those Republicans and all those people that were scared and cajoled into voting for the law, now they see they turning it on the Republicans. Donald Trump, the president, don't know that this is what he's up against.
Yeah, what goes around comes around.
Doesn't
Ain't that
it?
what they say?
Goes around, goes around, comes around. A lot of them like to call it karma now. You know, they don't want you
Yeah.
to know what they're talking about. Malcolm X said it's chickens were coming home to roost. They don't want you to know what they're talking about. So they are being affected by the same thing. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, it was Bill Clinton that signed that law for the special prosecutor to reinstate the special prosecutor law or to keep it in existence when it came up for a review. And they turned around and jumped on him with it. I know you saying, well, why are we saying that about Trump? Well, they ought to get him. What you mean get him? That law goes for all Americans. That's the whole
right.
point. They using a law that they had for spies and the Russians or any foreign government official. They're using that on us now.
That's right.
Well, they don't have to tell you. It's like the no knock. We don't have to knock on your door. We just kick it in.
Kick it in.
We don't have to say it's the police. We just kick your door in. Same thing. They violating the Constitution with that law, and they saying because of 9/11, that's when they put it in, and everybody looked the other way and wink, wink, and it's okay. But now it's what they say coming up for a review. Otherwise, it's going to sunset. It's going to go away. Well, they ought to let the law go away, but Trumpsky and his people don't know. Where did these lawyers? Well, which lawyers did Donald Trump have? They don't seem to be the good ones. But he's fighting.
Yeah.
I had to give him credit. The man's
I tell
fighting.
you what, it's a good thing he don't have no good lawyers.
They'd be tough, really.
Oh man, it'd
Yeah,
be hard to handle, man.
They have had a good lawyer, huh?
Yeah.
And so that's what we're looking at. We're looking at these knuckleheads that are lawyers that he think, well, he got to have somebody up there.
Yeah.
Somebody got to represent him. But if that's the case, how come the black lawyers aren't stepping up? They don't think they're credible enough, or they don't want to talk to the man?
Oh man, they scared.
Are they scared?
Man, they scared. They scared of their own shadow.
You know, I was trying to think of that lawyer that represented Monica Lewinsky, the black lawyer that represented Monica Lewinsky at trial before the special prosecutor. How do we know that? It was in a magazine.
Magazine, the
Newsweek, Times, and all of that stuff. I guess you can Google it. I should have Googled it, but my mind went somewhere else. But it was a black lawyer. Oh, they got a few black lawyers that's top of the line. Matter of fact, that's why Monica Lewinsky didn't get charged with anything.
that's right. He took on another case too.
Right, right,
Oh man, I'm looking at his face. He had a mustache.
right, right.
Well,
Most black guys got a mustache.
Just he
It'll
was
come
kind of
to
heavy
you.
though.
It'll come to
Oh man, it'll come to me in a minute. Could do was pretty. Yeah.
Well, all you got to do is Google. Somebody Google that for us when you call in. The black lawyer that represented Monica Lewinsky. It'll come up whatever his name is. Because when I don't know why I can't ever think of that guy's name. Was it Reginald Carter? The black manager that Lady Gaga had. People don't know that. She had a black manager. But Google will tell you if they're black or white.
They tell you everything.
They're a monster. We're going to take some calls because these callers have been holding on.
Yeah, they out
Caller,
there.
you on the line. Go right ahead. Well, we can't hear them. Mr. Engineer.
Oh, that's them.
Oh, that's them? Hey, well, call us back because we can't hear you. You scrambled.
Or talking to the phone. You need to get another line. We can't hear you. Can't understand you.
We can't hear that gobbledygook. Caller, you on the air.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Of
we can hear you.
course.
Go right ahead.
Hey,
Hey.
Hassan, I'm sorry to hear about your cousin because you always talk about all the great things you guys talk about.
Right. Thank you.
So I'm sorry to hear he passed away.
Thank you.
Hello?
Yes,
Yeah.
go right ahead.
Okay, harassment. Can I go to the subject of sexual harassment for 1 second?
Go right ahead.
It's a noun, typically of a woman in a workplace or other professional or social situations involving the making of unwanted sexual advances or obscene remarks, a form of sex discrimination that violates Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. I was listening to Morning Joe this morning. Mika, his co-host, was saying that she went to a couple of events this past weekend where very high up folks were there. And they were saying that they have problems hiring women from what's going on now. And that they don't feel comfortable. And don't forget, Hassan and Carol, that a lot of deals are closed on the golf course, at dinner, at lunch, or when they have to go out of town to conventions or whatever it is. Okay, they're not going to take the women anymore. And these are high up CEOs, she said, of companies, like GM or Standard Oil places. That's where she was this weekend. So women are getting ready to ask themselves out of these jobs.
Well, you're right, but didn't we say that last week?
Yeah.
Didn't you call in and mention the same thing?
This Me Too movement, if you listen, a lot of people are saying, well, these women have never had any place to go to make these complaints, and I agree with that. But then, like they also say, how do you know who to believe if something happened 5 years ago? They got a judge that is stepping down from. Did you know from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals? He's been on the bench for 30 years.
Well,
Did you guys hear about that? Kalinsky, I think I can't pronounce it.
Well, it just
And
came out.
14 women came out with complaints against him.
Well,
And now they're asking Al Franken to not step down.
well, he
They
should.
said they made a mistake in asking him to step down. He told them,
Well, he does.
just saying.
Well, see, the whole thing was politically motivated
Alabama.
over this tax cut. Well, look at the thing now. you need the votes from the senators, right? So you want Al Franken, you want a Democratic senator to step down. And I'm going to even go back a couple of months to really stir the pot up on these conspiracy theories, because didn't somebody jump on Senator Rand Paul and almost kill him, beat him half to death? They said, a slight altercation. How do you have a slight altercation? You break the man 5 ribs. Break 5 ribs. Man was lucky to live. And so here's a senator that was going to vote against the budget.
Rand Paul.
Rand Paul. He hadn't opened his mouth. Man ain't opened his mouth since somebody went in there and Bewick slapped him. Bewick, the street Bewick, yeah. Slapped him. Tried to beat the crap out of him. You thought he was on Bewick Street, down in the hood. Thought he was on Bewick and Mac. And I'm telling you, and nobody's saying that, so put it together. When we put 2 and 2 together, and that's what we do here, we try to analyze and scrutinize what's going on right in front of our faces, and they come to us like, well, man, who you gonna believe, me or your lying eyes? You gonna believe your lying eyes, or you gonna believe me?
Oh, last thing before I hang up, I know you got other callers coming in. What did that gentleman say on Al Sharpton's show about getting the black vote out?
Oh, that I don't remember his name, but he's Mayor Birmingham, young guy from Morehouse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he said from Morehouse. I said from Morehouse. But he was saying that when they was asking him how did they win, he said, those commercials are good. Those cards when you mail out, the mailers are good. He said that's a secondary. The primary is you have to go door to door. He said that's how we won, going door to door. And Alabama, the cities are still country. They only got 4 cities in Alabama, major cities: Birmingham, Montgomery, and what's the other one?
Montgomery.
Well, that's all right. Birmingham, Montgomery, and Selma, and somebody else. So you got 3 or 4 cities. Everybody else is still in the country. The most of the black folks are in the country. And he said that they appreciated Cory Booker coming to support Doug Jones in the election. He said, but the Alabamians did not know who Cory Booker. They didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
They didn't know he was a senator from New Jersey. So they did not connect. He says you have to get people there on the ground. Now, he said all that. He didn't mention Jesse Jackson. I saw Jesse Jackson one time on the news. They showed him. But Jesse Jackson, the premier voter registration get out to drive man. He's known as the
king.
He's the king. He's the big dog when it comes to getting people out to vote. Registering voters, nobody does it better than Jesse Jackson.
That's right.
At his age, even with Parkinson's, he's still out in the field.
That's right.
And, this man, he's overlooked. They didn't say nothing. They didn't want to mention Jesse Jackson because people, it's strange. They'll say, well, Jesse Jackson he had never seen a microphone he didn't want to get in front of, or a television camera. And that's okay with me because he gets the vote out. And that's why they make all these comments about Jesse Jackson. What's that guy, the opioid guy, Limbaugh, Pillhead Limbaugh. He almost made his whole career on Jesse Jackson, talking about and against Jesse Jackson. But he's an effective organizer. That's why they talk about him. That's why they criticize him. We don't look at what is the man doing. He's raising holy hell down there. That's what he's doing. And so they put over $1 million. Do you hear that, Ken Locke? Do you hear that, Detroit? There was no money spent in Detroit.
None. Zero.
No money spent in Detroit to get the vote out. They put over $1 million in Alabama. They put over $1 million in Virginia. That's how they got it turned around. So Nancy Pelosi and all these people, it's a bunch of bunk. They're just telling us, hey, they lying. You can call it anything you want to. Just come on out and say it's a bunch of hooey. It don't add up. It doesn't make sense. This man, the brother came on in, youngest mayor of Birmingham, Alabama. He had to grow a beard so he look older. Yeah. But anyway.
Thank you, gentlemen, for
Thank
taking my
you.
call.
Thank you for bringing it up.
Okay. Oh, and hey, Leonard. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Caller, you on the air.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. What's
morning.
going on, Tyrone?
Last week, you remember I came on air and I said that our vote don't count, and you all wouldn't dialogue with me on it because you all said it do. But yet, though, I got about 6 calls after you all pointed people to the Constitution, and they said, you know, they didn't respond to your voting. They came to a Constitution, a provision that don't even talk about voting. And I looked at the Constitution, Article 7 that you all brought up, 28, and I seen they was right. It didn't relate whatsoever because it was talking about consolidation of corporations. That means corporation means villages, townships, cities, counties, consolidating. Say, for example, a fire department in Dearborn. They said, why you use the Dearborn Heights? Why you use the fire department? Won't we just join together? You fire yours, and my fire department take out the whole area, Dearborn Heights and Dearborn, because they had a problem with urban sprawl when they created all these suburbs. They found out that no individual suburbs had the tax base to pay for the infrastructure repair and rebuilding. And they was really surprised that people called me that you all flim-flammed them and send them to that section, and you didn't dialogue with me to prove that I voted count. And I'm coming back this week. I was really surprised. Why did you all do that?
Well, Tyrone, we didn't have enough time, and
We told you that 3 times.
But I said I was going to give my explanation. We were going to say what we did after you hung up. I said we didn't have time to go in a dialogue. We have a little more time today, and so we're dialoguing. But here's the thing. There was an election that was held and won. The Democrats won it with the black folks' vote in Alabama. That's no doubt. Maybe some folks here deny that. Maybe they don't believe that. But all the rest of the folks around the country know that it was the black folks, the black people, that got out and voted for Doug Jones, and that's why the Democrats got that Senate seat in Alabama over Donald Trump's Roy Moore. So, Judge Moore. So, it's very difficult for somebody to believe, if you believe your vote don't count, that's a personal opinion. But it says in the law that we had a right to vote. Now, why did I go to the other section of the Constitution? Because that explained what was happening to black folks. That explained that Governor Snyder could not take our property. It couldn't take Bilal. The Constitution said it has to be administered by both the state and the township, the state and the cities. They had to have shared costs. The cost had to be shared by the state as well as the city. So these things that they're doing, now I don't disagree with you when you say we know they put a board in. See, I'm saying, what does the Constitution say? And I also said then that the city council, I said Brenda Jones should run for the Congress seat, the congressman seat, so we can get rid of her. And we need to have 7 more 8 vacancies to get rid of all the rest of the city council because they're not doing their job. And I know why. I think I know why people feel that their vote don't count, because the folks that are in there won't follow the law. I'm talking about the black folks. They sit up there and let the governor take our pension. Nobody open their mouth. They voted for a man that took our pension illegally, Mike Duggan. And they say our vote don't count. See, when you go to the poll, we went to the polls, black folk, not everybody, but the blacks that went to the poll and voted, how did the people stop us from voting? You know, I hear that. I get tired of listening to it. And you see, we repeat like parrots what a few lawyers said. Wendell Anthony and the NAACP. These preachers get out here. Our vote don't count. They took our right to vote. When in reality, what happened then? What happened? How did they get in? The preachers didn't come out and say, let's go to the polls and vote. Come on, we got these buses. We paying people, and if we don't have enough money, we should go back and get some volunteers to take you to the polls.
That's what
they
they
weren't
used to
doing
do.
that. That's what they used to do. See, that's what they used to do for the people. They're not doing anything like that for us. The unions would come out and give some money.
That's right.
Council 25, the UAW ain't gave up a dime if they did win. Where? What was they doing to that? Nowhere. That I know of. And see, this is what happened. The first little money that came into the state of Michigan from the Democratic Party, when it came to, what's the guy's name? Brandon Dillon. He's chairman, state chairman. So they say all these little precincts, not the precinct, but the districts are going to get $10,000. 13th district got $10,000. Jonathan Kinlock is the chair, and he hires a chauffeur. He pays the guy to drive him around. And I guess he gave himself a stipend or some kind of salary.
They need to be recalling his butt.
But this is what's happening. That's why we don't win. Go ahead, Tyrone.
Well, you know, I wasn't. When I said that it's not personal. It's we in Detroit, in Ben Harbor, in Ecoy, in Inkster, in Highland Park. We don't have a right. We don't have, our vote don't count. What I mean by vote don't count, it don't have no conclusion. Other words, when we say no through the ballot, the Financial Review Board in Lansing, the appointed people in Lansing can say yes, and they can overrule that little body that's representing the governor can overrule our vote. They have suspended our charter. They can overrule the ordinance that if we vote for somebody to replace Brenda Jones, they can overrule that person if they pass a resolution or ordinance. So our vote don't count because it has no conclusion, and that's not personal. And I looked at Public Act 436. That act was passed in 2013 so that they could bring in ore, the emergency manager. Now, when ore left, 436 is still on the books. We cannot have a referendum and do away with it.
Yes,
and
we can.
That puts the city under receivership. But soon as that left, June the 20th of 2014, they came up with the Financial Review, Michigan Financial Review Act, Commissioner Act. And that act also puts us under receivership, and that act also gives them the same power. And guess what and I'm going to name this so you'll know. Michigan Compiled Law 141 3627 says that they can overrule our ordinance and our charter, and also 141.1642. They only can dissolve. Here's the title: dissolve release of qualified city from oversight. The city would have to go 10 consecutive years with a balanced budget, then they will dissolve themselves. No city, no township have since this country's existence have had 10 years of consecutive a balanced budget. So looking at actuality, that means we will be under the dictatorship for indefinitely. So our vote, in that sense, it don't count because it has no conclusion, Carl and Hassan, and that where you all cited has absolutely nothing to do with that. You all shouldn't flam. If you didn't know, you should say, I honestly don't know. But to send us to a section that has nothing to do with voting, but it's talking about consolidating. And that's what they done on us, forced consolidation. What consolidation means, they took all our assets, they took the functions of those assets, and they took our tax base, and they created employment for themselves on our back. There's an inverse relationship, and you all was playing around and talking about that. It's a shame that you all did that.
Well, go ahead, Carl.
Well, did you understand what the man just got through explaining to you? He just got through. Wait a minute, hold it.
Don't go off the subject matter with Alabama.
I asked you a question.
Yes, I understand exactly what you all said.
Did you understand what he said about the Constitution in reference to what y'all was talking about? That particular article.
But
those are two separate things. You mixing
people don't read, and you try to trick people.
No, ain't nobody trying to trick nothing. If you don't understand, you just don't understand. He explained it.
What do 728 mean in the Constitution, the state Constitution? You call since you know so much.
I will read it to you, but I don't have my Constitution with me.
No,
but I'll be here next week, and I'll have it, and I'm going to read it like we always do. Anytime we talk about the Constitution, reread it verbatim, so it won't be no he say, she say stuff. That's why we read the Constitution.
You didn't do it last week.
Oh,
yes, we did.
We read out the Constitution, man.
We always do.
Let me read it to you.
Now, hold it. Hey, Tyrone.
Oh, now you want to read because we ain't got ours.
Hey, Tyrone, hold it now.
Okay.
Wait, hold it.
But I just want to say.
First, now, wait a minute. Hold it now. See.
No conclusion, and you all are pushing something that really hurts the people.
What are we pushing? What are we pushing?
When you send it to.
Now, you know what? You don't think we can let you talk longer than most people do.
Way longer than most people. But see, one thing you need to understand is how the process works. And the first thing you need to understand, just because they got an illegal board there and they can do all this, there's a countermeasure. But you never talk about the countermeasure. You always talk about what they got in place. If it's illegal, you can challenge them just like wait a minute, just like they overrule whatever we do, we can challenge what they do. The fight just don't stop there. You got to know how the process works.
How do you charge them when they are the ones who's doing it? It's judges. It's the governor.
Now you're going to another.
No, right.
So whatever they do is right.
They in there together.
They in there together, but that don't mean that you can't win.
And you're all talking about the Constitution says this and the Constitution says that, and they doing it, and you all are citing the wrong Constitution because you don't even understand what you read.
Okay.
Oh, boy, I know you got to be serious.
All right.
Let somebody else talk.
Okay. Well, that's one of the reasons, Tyrone, when people don't agree with you, you always say they don't know. But it's okay. And even those phantom ghosts, they called you about what we said. And, there's a lot of things going on, ladies and gentlemen, And we're going to keep saying the same thing over and over again. A lot of you don't think we know Tyrone, but we've been knowing Tyrone about
For
25
years.
years. 25
Who's going to
years.
start him to research it?
So we don't have any problem with Tyrone or anybody else calling, challenging the book. Now, when we're reading from the Constitution, you're not challenging Hassan and Carl. You're challenging the Constitution. And so we can differ over what the Constitution says or what it means. And that's a big problem, it seems, that we
It
don't
is.
understand the basic foundation, the fundamental law of any state is their state constitution.
That's
Now,
right.
see, this is where these jackleg lawyers come in at. They don't want to tell you that. They want you to give them some money for anything, just general conversation. And we having a conversation, but we're not charging you. If you want to send us some money, donation, fine. That's why we don't even ask for any donations. Because we don't want that to cloud the real issue. The real issue is us being aware and understanding what these laws are and what the laws say. And we don't mind being wrong. I mean, I've only been wrong, what, maybe one time this year or 10 years? That's a joke for the ones that don't know it. But we don't mind being wrong. In order for you to get out here in the public, just on a television show, you got to have a thick skin. You
That's
have
right.
to be able to take criticism.
And you have to be able to do your own research.
And we do our own research. And so we get help. Somebody gave us this lawsuit on, looked it up for us on the Wayne County,
Same here.
on the Wayne County bill. So, you know, it's not like we're not telling you what's right and what's going on. This attempt to shut the churches down with the drainage fee is illegal.
Illegal.
But you don't want to talk about that. You don't want to talk about the fact that you can get your money back. You don't want to talk about this lying mayor that's going to say he didn't know nothing about it. He don't know nothing about what Gary Brown has done, and he was there all the time. I'm talking about Mike Duggan. He was there all the time with Gangster Snyder. So y'all don't want to talk about that. And as far as I keep saying, and it gets ridiculous. If you go into the polls and vote, how do you say you lost your right to vote? If, you know, how do you say that? And then you say, well, my vote didn't mean anything. Because you didn't bring out enough of your buddies to vote. It's by the numbers.
That's right.
They say you have to be in the majority in order for your side to win. You act like you don't know that. I mean, do you watch baseball or basketball?
And that's only
football?
one part of the process.
But Carl, how do you watch a
Oh.
football game and the other team got more points? The one that won got more points. And so now if you go to vote, you got to get more votes than the other side. And then you say you lost it? How? And you go in every day. And look, people want you to feel that way.
Yeah.
Because when you don't go out and vote, when the Democrats don't vote, the Republicans win. It's that simple.
That's plain and simple. Ain't no two ways about it.
They're-
And what I want to know, if you don't, I mean, you could talk about your right to vote, don't count, and all that. What alternative do you have?
The alternative,
What alternative do you have?
they're going back to the plantation.
Oh, that's what it is? That's what they want to
You
do?
tell me what else it is. That's the
See,
alternative.
it's all right to criticize somebody, but you need to have an alternative. And if you don't have no alternative, what's the point? You need to take whatever you got, since it's the only thing you got,
to use.
and use it to your benefit. Hey, half of the people just now beginning to learn about the process and how to use it.
But you know what?
It don't happen overnight.
But Carl, all of these good-minded people, fair-minded, repeats what the white folks said.
I know that.
You cannot get another referendum, another petition, because we put an appropriation in, and so you can't have an
Ain't that
referendum
what he just said, and we
because
read it out
we
the
put some money
Constitution last week.
Yeah,
Verbatim what it said, just the opposite of
and
what they
it don't
saying.
say that.
Now he didn't hear us read that. last week, did he?
No, we
Out
didn't
the
read it.
Constitution.
We didn't read it no way, did we? No. We done read it 100 times, so as we can't debate the Constitution and we don't have it with us. We're not going to debate it.
Well, you be sure that we will have it.
We don't
From
have
now
it
on.
with it. We'll have it. And like they say, well, that was Alabama. No, that's Detroit. When the people didn't get out to vote, the Republicans got in.
That's right.
Simple as that. And they named it. Those were the basic. See, we don't understand. We say Michigan, and you think about Governor Snyder, but only the reason Snyder's there because these chicken-eating, boot-licking preachers want you to vote for Governor Snyder. Oh, he's all right. He's a good man. Why we can't give him a chance? All that old crazy stuff. And the man Snyder the poisoner. You
And
know,
he closing the church down. How you like him now?
well, it sounds like, what's the name? Which we said earlier. Paul.
Paul.
It's about like Paul. They preach about Paul all the time when Paul says that he ran the race. Is that what he did? No, he fought the good fight. They don't believe in fighting. How is it that you go to church on Sunday and you preach about Paul, and then the people that's laying and you go preach a funeral, they got to bring up Paul. And they say, this man was like Paul. He fought the good fight. He ran his race. He finished the race. And he kept the faith. And we got people here, no faith,
No.
let alone little faith.
Got very little Pauls out here.
Because if you had any little faith, you could move a mountain.
That's right.
You can move city government. And the atheists, the people that don't believe in God, well, you know, what you talking to them for? And we don't want you to go anywhere because we're going to be here to 10:30. We're going to be here the next half an hour.
That's right.
So let your friends know we're going to take a short break for station identification. We got to do that. The people that are on the line. We want to give you a chance to talk because one of them been on here about 20 minutes, so we definitely want to give you a chance to talk for waiting so long. Mr. Engineer, can you take us to a break?
Hold over until we come from break.